Thou shalt not do stupid things and then blame someone else or some company for your own stupidity. Voting for what you as an individual feel is the right thing. There's a point where you have to stand up and take care of yourself. Why can't we secure our borders? They don't want to address the real problem. We were providing health care, room and board for someone the state's going to execute. I just happen to think that we as a country, as a people, and as individuals, we can do a little bit better. You have got to be kidding me. Hey everybody, how are you? Glad to see you. You know, I'm going through my bills here, and let me point out a few things. I've got a job, I pay my taxes on time mostly, and pretty much I abide by the laws, you know, as a whole, except for the occasional speeding ticket. Now, I'm like most citizens in this country. My employer, you know, provides health benefits, and that's pretty good because a lot of people don't have health benefits. They don't have dental, life, health, and all of that. Now, how this works is my employer has to pay premium to the company. It's about $400 or $500. And so there's what they call, I guess it's a copay. And what the company has done recently is they said, well, now out of that $400 or $500, you need to pay $100 out of that. And also, the deductible goes up. So when I go to the doctor's office or something and they have their fee, I have to pay that $10, $20, or $30 deductible, and then the insurance company or HMO or whoever comes and pays the rest. And recently that deductible went up as well. And so, you know, that's still pretty good, you know, in comparison to a lot of other people that just don't have it. Also, my employer has what they call tuition reimbursement. I get to go to college, and however, it's reimbursement. And people say, oh, well, you get a free education or whatever, or at least they provide it for you. Sort of. It's reimbursement. So, and college courses aren't cheap. And if you know how much they cost, you have to basically pay for everything up front, whether it's several $1,000s, it could be a couple of $100s, depending. And then you have to take the course, and so through those 6 months or however long, 3 months, whether it's summer or whatever, and then you submit your form to your boss for reimbursement, and they may or may not pay it. Now, a lot of times, you know, the majority of times, as long as you pass the class or met their requirements, you know, they'll pay you back and you get reimbursed for it. Let's see. I pay about $80 for cable, and even then, that doesn't get me the local channels. Then, you know, as part of life, we get these bills, the electric, the gas, the phone, the cable bill, and I don't even want to talk about what it takes to keep food in this house. Now that I have that out of the way, I want to talk to you about our prison system. And when I say our prison system, that's exactly what I mean. A part of the money that we pay in income, property, and retail taxes goes towards the prison system. Since we all pay taxes in some form or fashion, it's our system. Somehow our prisons have become more like vacation spots instead of places with restricted freedoms. And the last time I checked, prisons were for individuals that have disregarded the laws of a community, and they're subject to the removal of their freedoms through incarceration. Until we come up with a better system of punishment, the prison system is what we have. Now, if I was to commit a felony of some sort, let's map out how my life changes. Now, depending upon my crime, I may wind up in a minimum or maximum security facility. So let's say, for the sake of argument, it's a minimum security because, you know, I'm not going to jail anyway. But let's just say, for the sake of argument. So here's how my punishment unfolds. I get free clothing, free medical, free hospitalization, free dental, free vision, free education, free cable, free workout facilities, free utilities, free room and board, and free legal counsel. I don't have it this good now. How can a convicted criminal have it better than the ordinary working person? And I will say this, I know I'm oversimplifying this and understating some of the realities of prison life, but there's nothing to deter an individual from the idea of committing a crime. The deterrent to committing a crime used to be the threat of prison. Since prison is no longer someplace to be feared, committing a crime is no longer something to be avoided. I think some people have figured this out and don't mind going to prison. Look at all the benefits they get, from the prisons. Sometimes it's better than living out on the street. I mean, what we have done is turn our prison into a second welfare state, not a punishment. I used to work with young men who were either on their way to jail or who had just gotten out. And the disturbing theme that I heard was that they didn't mind going to jail. Now I understand why. And this is troubling on multiple fronts, but let's talk about the principles of prison. It's supposed to be a punishment, a removal of freedom, and really, I hate to say it, but removal of your rights. And prisons used to be something that was feared by the most hardened criminals, and somehow or another, the prisons have just become too accommodating. And here's something else. Why do prisoners have so much time to watch cable television, get an education, and work out? We need to put these prisoners to work. And I hate to put it like this, but let's bring back the chain gang. Get them out there. Let's get the streets fixed. Let's get the highways built, grounds landscaped, or any other labor-intensive work the community needs done. You know what? And here's something that's funny. In some states, corporations have worked out a deal where they have found a way to get some of the manufacturing duties done with the prison workforce. Now, that's something the private sector can figure out how to get the best use out of, an available labor source, a workforce that our taxes are paying for. Now, don't get me wrong. I think prisoners should be treated as human beings. But who said they deserve the same benefits as people who obey the law? And don't tell me about circumstances and shouldn't have been there or whatever, or things just happen. There are millions of people who go through their entire lives every day and never see the inside of a jail cell. Look, let's get rid of the freebies and get prisons back to what they were meant to be. Punishment. And that's how I see it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. We need to help protect and support the people that defend and protect us. You take the money away from your own kids to rebuild someone else's country. How can a convicted criminal have it better than the ordinary working person? The U.S. right now is so determined to include everyone, it forgets the people who are here. Somehow the brightest minds in government thought of this plan. Has anyone from the White House or Congress taken a look at minority test scores? Make no mistake. I think the United States is the best country on the planet.